Happy Friday, everybody. It's your pal, it's your amigo, it's your compadre, John, to the air horn. Reap. No air horn. I lost it on a camping trip. I don't even think we need it anymore. But maybe I'll get a new one in here. Time will tell. Anyway, you're listening to another awesome, amazing episode of the Fried Pod. Don't eat Tide Pods. Listen to the Fried Pod. And wow, first of all, let me thank you. We've been growing ever since I've been on YouTube. Lots of people watching, lots of people listening, lots of people writing in. I love that. You guys are sending me emails at johnreap@gmail.com, and from time to time I will read them on air the way that you wrote them. And I'm not trying to make fun of you, but some people don't watch for typos. And so it's going to sound like I messed up anyway because I can't talk, so you're fine. But send them in. If they're funny, if they're interesting, or at random, I will pick them. Also, don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share. That's 4 things. I know that sounds like a lot. Rate, you can give us a rating on iTunes, SoundCloud. I guess that's like a thumbs up on a YouTube or a heart or something. That's a rating. Review. Pretty good sound effect. That's speed typing. A review. You know what I said? I said, I love the Fried Pod. You could do that. On YouTube, maybe on iTunes too. You can leave reviews. Rate, review. Subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That helps us. And don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you never miss a new thing that comes out on my YouTube channel. And lastly, share. Sharing is caring. That helps us a lot. I'm kind of a grassroots guy. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I grow. I'm like kudzu. And for this to work, I need you to water the kudzu. That's me, your pal, John Reap. Well, what else can I tell you? From time to time, I also do stand-up comedy. I've been in town quite a while doing these in-studio Fried Pods, but from time to time, I have to leave the studio in good old Hickory and get out there in the rest of the country and make some cash. So, that being said, this is sort of a generic open. And I don't know what this episode is going to be yet, but I guarantee you it's going to be great or your money back. So why don't you just sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of the Fried Pod. All right, look at this. Here I am in Los Angeles, Hollywood to be specific, sitting here with, the owner of the place I'm sitting in right now, Mr. Josh Nasar, everybody. And should we tell them what we're doing, what our idea for this episodes are?
Well, this is a Smashcast.
Smashcast. Yes.
Mine is called Getting Ready with Josh Nasar, where I interview doctors, lawyers, celebrities, famous comedians, successful comedians, amazing comedians.
Oh, geez.
And I find out what they do on a macro and a micro level to get ready for success, whether it's when you do Last Comic Standing, when you shoot a special, when you do late night,
right.
When you're doing hours. Like, what do you do exactly? Because some people eat, some people drink, some people don't talk to people, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I'm finding the through line of what all successful people do. And what we don't realize, you're literally in the top 1% of your profession. If you think about it.
Yeah.
There's not many headlining, touring comedians in the whole country.
Yeah.
I mean, 1,000? That work consistently wherever you go.
True.
I'm still featuring. I'm not. So I want to talk, and I like to find out, I'm like, what do you do?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Well, yeah, how'd you get there? Well, I understand that. And so my podcast, for people who are watching Josh's, and you're like, who's this guy? I'm John Reap. I have a podcast called The Fried Pod, and comes out on Fridays. It's about all things Southern and hillbilly and me, and it's not even that much. It's mostly about me and whatever comes out of my head. So, first of all, thank you for providing this wonderful Airbnb you have here.
It's so much fun. Why do I have so much fun doing it?
How did you even get started in this?
So basically I'm not a headlining comedian yet. So if you said, hey, meet me in Wichita for a show, well, how am I going to afford flight, hotel, and ground? Well, if I can rent my place out for, let's say, $800, that covers all that.
Yeah.
And then whatever I make selling T-shirts and from the club is profit.
Right.
So I try to go, what can I also do not to work? I don't want to work.
100%. Right.
So I've been doing this, and I was saying before, I'm having so much fun. Like when you walked in, what was on the pillows?
You had some little chocolate
I
mints.
put little chocolates on the pillows.
That's nice. That's a nice touch.
I mean,
like
I
that.
do all that. Everything's vacuum clean, perfect. It literally looks like a hotel.
So but you have like 2 places,
I
really?
have 3 places.
3?
3 places that
My
I Airbnb.
God. Well, first of all, you got to have done something right to get 3 places that you can rent out.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
What I did is I found people that were going out of town.
Yep.
And I said, how about this? I'll run everything for you. You have to do absolutely nothing. And I'll just give you a chunk of money at the end and I get a percentage. And they go,
Oh, nice.
okay, that's fine.
That's a good deal.
So, I found this big model. She's always in Milan and just doing
What?
stuff. Yeah, she's literally a flawless human being. And she's my buddy, and she trusts me. And I pay her every 15th of the month, and every first she gets money. So all of her rent is covered, and then she makes an extra
So
$1,000.
these are like other people's.
This one's other people's. Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So I have that, and then I also have.
Ooh, so is this one you, or is this one?
This one's all me.
Where's the Milan one?
That one's down the street.
I feel like we should go to that one and just like
No,
dirty it up a lot.
No, I don't let anybody there because you're not really supposed to do it. So I
Right,
make sure I
right.
do it in buildings that you're allowed to do it.
Oh, that's right.
You know,
That's
so
right.
I do it in a building you're allowed to do it. I get
Yeah.
permission. I do it the right way. And it's, I don't know. I'm a dork. I have fun with it. But all it is, you know what? I call that.
It's another source of income. You got to hustle.
That's my day job.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's my waitering job.
That's great, dude.
So, which you don't have.
No, I don't. I have been doing this. The last job I had was 1998. I was working at a TV station, believe it or not. I was the production assistant for PBS shows like North Carolina Now, Legislative Week in Review, Snooze Fest, right? It's PBS stuff. But I was learning a bunch. I was learning like how to operate cameras, how to edit stuff, lighting,
And where was this at?
North Carolina. Raleigh, North Carolina.
So, like, I can understand if you live in L.A. or New York and you
Right.
go, "Oh, I want to get into TV."
Right.
Like, what made you go, "Oh, that's"? You know what I mean?
I didn't know if it would work out.
Did you know what it was though? Like, I didn't have any concept of what it was. I just saw the TV. I'm like, "Oh, I want to do that."
Well, I knew that my dad, we loved watching, comedies on television, and this is going to sound weird, but one of the first ones that we all watched together and loved a lot was Bill Cosby. Mm-hmm. Bill Cosby himself, before all the raping and the drugging.
Yeah, no, actually, it was actually during it, but we didn't know.
That's right.
But we didn't even know.
No, that's right. Before he got busted. Yeah. But so I was like, well, that's what my dad likes. So I'm going to do something like that. I was good at being funny. I didn't know how to make it into a job. And I liked television. I liked Jerry Lewis, black and white Dean Martin movies.
Pretty lady.
Yes. I liked, cartoons, Little Rascals, and then Steve Martin.
So you just walked in the direction of it.
I was just like, once I got to honestly, okay, I'm going to back all the way up then.
Yeah.
How far back do you want to go?
I like to go back to when the first inclination, when you
Yeah.
go, "Ooh, I want to do that." That's what I'm going to do.
I think when the first laugh I got where I felt like, ooh, this is good, I want this to happen all the time, was probably around the 3rd grade. I had a teacher named Miss Hampton, and I forgot exactly what it was. I think she said something like, "John, you better be on your P's and Q's." All right, and I just took a piece of paper out and wrote the letter P and Q, and then I sat on it in front of the class, and they just all started laughing, and then she was like, "Okay, well, no one's done that. Give me that. Just behave, But I remember going like, "Oh man, I got her," and they all liked it. I want to do that again. What am I going to do next time?
And you were self-aware enough. See, I feel like, and this is crazy, I feel like I woke up at 40 years old.
Oh yeah,
Like, you were self-aware enough to go, "I did that, then that got me that laugh, and I want to do that again."
yeah. It was sort of instant. But I didn't think of it as a career though.
No. But
Yeah.
you just knew that turns into that, so I'm going to do that again.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you feed a rat and he'll
Yeah.
hit the triggers.
And it's pretty crazy. Like, think how old are you now?
47.
So, and you were in 3rd grade. How old are you then?
God, I think I was I was like 14. I'm kidding. I'm not sure how old you are in the 3rd grade.
Say 8, 9, whatever
Okay,
it
yeah,
is.
somewhere around
that
there.
means you've been doing comedy or going for that
Yeah.
for 30-something
Right,
years.
because I've always gotten some sort of satisfaction and
From
reward
X,
from it.
Y, and then Z.
Now it's now it's a career, but then it
Yeah.
was like attention, and it just it's power. Also, it's kind of like a powerful thing. If you can control people to laugh, it's sort of like I can manipulate your brain. I'm going to say like 5 things that's going to manipulate your brain, and it's going to make you physically go, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's kind of like a magic trick.
Yeah.
So I didn't really thought of it like that, but that's, there's power in it, and that's,
And it happens every time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to do set up, punch, set up, and they're going to laugh.
Right.
And you've done it long enough, and I've done it long enough where I go, like, if they don't laugh, I'm annoyed at them. I go, no. I stop the show. I go, let me tell you something. Right. You're an asshole.
Right.
Because everyone laughs at
it's
this.
not me. It is you.
Yeah.
I've done this joke 1,000 times.
Yeah.
You're the only person not to get it. So statistically, it is definitely you.
Maybe you're not an asshole, but statistically, right. That's the new, I actually saw Dice.
Oh,
Dice came on stage at the original room at the Comedy Store many years ago, and he starts tapping the microphone and he goes, tust. And then he steps back, really taking his time, takes a cigarette, lights it, tust, and he goes, I've been watching you from the back, and you're not a good audience. You're horrible. Right. And what he did is he turned the paradigm on them and made it their responsibility to entertain him.
To pay attention as well and be like hanging on every word and the mood shifts, because he definitely doesn't come out like, dancing around with high energy. He's like, listen,
he made it their thing.
Yes.
And like you said, that's the power.
Yeah.
To now, and he shifted the power to make it their responsibility.
Right.
That if they don't laugh, they're bad.
Then they screwed up. Yeah.
It is a power thing.
That's a smart move, too.
I watched it in slow motion. Tust.
Dude. Oh, God. I was such a fan of him, too, when I was like right out of high school. He had 2 albums that came out at the same time called The Day the Laughter Died. He recorded at Dangerfields in New York. Have you heard this? Do you know what I'm talking? Okay, so he slowly walks the room on this like, it's like 2 hours, maybe 3 hour long set that he did. And it's almost like one by one, he's pissing people off in the audience. And they get up and leave. Yeah. Uh-huh. And then by the end of it, there's maybe 7 people left. And he closes it on a huge musical number for just the 7 people. He does the filthiest Christmas song ever. It's so hilarious.
Were they told to leave, or do you think they actually left?
No, I think he was, like, this is what I'm doing. I'm recording this. I'm going for that. Look, I don't know what his intentions were, but he captured like lightning in a bottle, maybe. It's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. And at the end, because it was around Christmas, he gets like some guy up there on the piano who's like, play something soft. And the guy starts playing. He goes, well, it's Christmas time. And he's like, Merry Christmas. No, he goes, suck his cock till the veins are blue. Double loads for you and you and you. Merry Christmas. And it's really dirty, but I loved it. I had it memorized. And I want to tell you this real quick. Fast forward, now I'm at college. I'm going to North Carolina State University. And I had a buddy of mine, my roommate, who worked at a jewelry store in the mall. And he knew that I loved Elvis. And he said, John, will you just make me a Christmas Elvis tape so I can just play it at the store? I'm like, sure thing, Joel. And at the very end, I put that Dice song. And he didn't know it. And so he's playing it in a busy jewelry store. Packed around Christmas time, children, everything, and over the loudspeakers, he said, "Suck his dick," like that. So he said he fell down trying to run to get back to the.
So let me ask you this: do you tell these stories on stage, the P and Q?
No,
you could. I mean, that's what I'm saying. When you do your stand up. Because that's something you could say, I've always done this, and literally say, this is how hack, when I started. And you're pro enough. You could make that P and Q, because I chuckled. You could make that, and then you could tell that story with the Elvis thing.
I don't even know what P and Q stands for. Do you know? I have no idea. But have you heard that before? You better mind your P's and Q's. What is that? What's the P's? What's the Q's?
First, see, and that's
I don't know.
You could do.
I'm asking you right now, legitimately. I really don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? Patience? No. I guess quiet might be one of them.
Patience and quietness.
Yeah.
So wait, when you do your like you shot a special.
I did. I have one out right now.
And what's the name of it?
Ginger Beard Man.
Okay. So did you take, is it life? Like everybody, some people like Seinfeld, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like, is this personal to you? Like, tell me your process getting ready for that.
Okay. So this is the third one.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I did was I
remember the first two. That's what I was asking.
Bless Your Heart was the first one. Metro Jethro, the second one. This one is the third one. And this one, it's so hard coming up with good, polished bits that you know are going to do well.
The first one was fire. I love the first special.
Thanks.
It is so good.
Bless your heart.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to do that. So that being said, there are people now cranking out 2 specials a year. You know, I can't do that. I'm not that quick. Plus, I'm a little bit lazy. So this special, the newest one, Ginger Beard Man, I shot it in Chicago about, 3 or 4 years ago. It's been sitting on a shelf, and just recently some big company bought it, and it's just now coming out. So I'm happy about it, but I'm also like, man, I wish they would let me reshoot it just to update it a little bit. Mm-hmm. And some of the things that are on there is like some of the first, like you were just saying, it's some of the first stuff I've done that was never on an album. Mm-hmm. So it's not like brand new stuff. It's like I'm going back into the vault, but I'm also throwing in a bunch of new stuff too. And the bulk of the new stuff is about being a ginger, a blue-eyed ginger specifically. I don't know if you know this statistic, but the blue-eyed ginger is the rarest one.
It's there's only 1% in the world.
That's right.
Huh? Who knows that? Can you give me credit for that?
Josh Nasar.
I knew that because I think girls, not men.
Yeah.
You will be included in the girls of this are the hottest gingers with blue eyes.
Hot. Well, you know what's funny? I think it's like a double. When you get those two together, they're not like most ginger girls are not attracted to me. And I'm not attracted to most ginger girls.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. I'm usually attracted to the opposite of me.
I'm attracted to.
But for you, I can see you liking that.
Hot.
Oh yeah,
that's it. That's literally
right.
It.
Yeah, I don't care about your eyes or your hair.
And I fall in love literally 5 times a day, and I forget about the last one every time I fall in love.
Right.
But when you put this together, wait, I want to ask you, when you put this together, do you sit down? Do you write it out? Do you work it out on stage? Because you are headlining. So what do you do?
What I do is so basically I have been touring for so long that I'll take these bits and I'll go like, all right, how do I want this show to begin? I'm like, well, I'm going to start off with this, and then I'm going to transition to this. I know this might not make. I'm speaking generalities.
That's how I do it.
I'm doing chunks.
You write the transition.
I don't write a whole thing out. I don't type a whole script out.
Right.
Because when I type the whole script out and then I try to memorize it and I do that, it sounds like I'm reading on stage. Whereas opposed if I go like, well, here's the funny parts in your brain, they're going to come out how they come out. And it'll be natural. It'll be more natural that way as opposed to trying to memorize a script and then like you're reading off a teleprompter, you know.
But you do it the same way every time. If I told you to go back and shoot that special, you could do it the same way.
I would, but also not exactly. Because the more I do it, you know, that's why I wanted to reshoot it. Because it's better now than it was when I shot it.
Same words.
Yeah, well, but I'm adding stuff.
Yeah.
I'm taking some things out. It's because it gets stronger, you know. And I'm a storyteller kind of guy. Like, I'm not a joke writer, not per se. I mean, I have some, but that's not my strength. I think my strength is a good story. And what I do love about that is stories can live forever, and they grow. And, you know, you hear a good story. If you hear a comedian tell a good story, you'll be like, oh, my God. You had to be there. I can't tell it. You should come see him tell this story. So it lives forever, and they want to hear it again. They're like, but if all you have is a joke, then it's like, well, I know this. It's over. I know this. Bing, bang, bong. Okay, what's the next one? But a story can live. It can breathe. It can.
Like telling ghost stories. You can hear the ghost story over and over again.
Yeah.
Or you could watch the same movie over and over. I could watch the Born Identity, Born Supremacy.
Right.
It's a story, but I'll watch it over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's
like a song you sing along with.
Yeah, and I'm very physical too. So even in that aspect, I'll change some physical things here and there. You know.
Do you know my favorite act out of yours?
Oh, no.
The dolphin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was one of the first huge laughs I got.
I fucking love that.
I was making fun of sound effects, like a lot of, football mascots. The first one I noticed was the Panther has a growl, and that, wait, did you play ball?
I play football.
Yeah, for,
So I played football in high school, then I went to Clarion, and then I went to Penn State. I didn't make the football team.
But I think you guys' mascot has the same sound effect as the. That's exactly it. You nailed it. No one does it exactly right. It's a double prong thing. Most people go, give me a. No.
No. Well, they'll get you going, and then.
That's right.
And by the way, and I don't want to one up you on yours, my podcast, but I was a cheerleader.
Good for you.
Oh, what a loser!
No.
Oh, come on.
Well, hang on a minute.
1, 2, down, up, toss to a hands.
Also,
to a
one of the first bits I ever did, and then I can't do it now because I saw Steve Byrne do it. Mm-hmm. So he beat me to television. Mm-hmm. But we have basically the same premise. Mine was a little different, but it is. Male cheerleaders are the smartest guys on the field because the other guys are wrestling each other, smacking each other's butts. This guy is holding it.
Yeah.
And he's looking right up at it.
Yeah.
And he can throw it around.
And
it's great. And he's flaunting it. And the dude's in shape.
Oh, yeah. We had so much fun.
I mean, on the surface, before you really know what you're up to, it's like, look at this guy here jumping around like a girl.
Guy,
but then you're like, wait a minute.
And the football players would come out and just shit on me. Like, hey, Nasar. I'm like, shut up.
Dude, that's great.
It was fun.
What were we talking about before that?
We were talking. Well, I'm digging away at the special and how you prepare it, and it's amazing because some people are very, very meticulous in their writing. Uh-huh. Some people just put down one word, like sausages, teacher, blah, 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 and then they can do a whole hour on that.
Yeah.
So, and it really is with your, it's like right side and left side of the brain. Some people are good at math, some people are good at English. So it's like, how do you get ready for it?
I would skew on the side of writing down an idea. Mm-hmm. Like something will happen to me. I'll just, for example, my dad almost drowning in the pool one time trying to fix a hole at the bottom by trying to breathe through a garden hose with a backpack full of rocks on his back to hold him down underwater. This is a true story. But this thing happened to me. And I go like, God, I got to somehow figure out how to get this on stage. And so I just write that down. Dad almost drowns, pool, right? And then I would just tell the story. I wouldn't say, hey, man, I got a new bit. I'm talking to people on the street, friends, not even on stage all the time. But at first, it's like, well, between comedians, I feel like if I told you, like, hey, I got this idea, I would give you the idea. I don't know if I'd sit there and perform it for you. But with people in your everyday life, I feel like you could sneak it in and they won't know it. And if they don't know it, then that's
even better.
That's even better.
Well, that's what I'm learning, too, is if I can deliver, or I want to deliver it the same on stage where if I was telling a group of comics.
Yeah.
Then you're just telling stories.
Right.
When you were, how long did you feature? When did you jump to headliner? How long did it take you?
So I quit my job in 1998 to do this full time as a feature act, basically living off my credit cards, just doing, minimum wage gig, like you get $50 to $75 a show. I did that until I moved here in 2000. How it worked for me was, since I worked at that TV station, I had access to great equipment. So I made a 3-camera shoot of my feature set at Goodnights in Raleigh, my home club at the time. And it looked like a professional, like I had 3 cameras, I had 2 channels of audio, and I went back and I cut that up, and I made fake resumes and headshots, and I just put it in the mail before the internet. Every place that I could get an address for that was a comedy club, I sent it in the mail and said, let me know if I could come perform. Slowly over time, I got yeses. And then just doing the road as a feature act for a couple of years, meeting people, winning some contests along the way, little small tryouts here and there. I was invited to Montreal in 2000 as a new face, just for Laughs Festival.
And you didn't even live in L.A. yet?
No.
Jesus. I was
still in North Carolina, but I had connections. There was a guy, his name is Freddie DeMarco. He's no longer in the business, but he ran and operated a room in Columbia, Missouri called Deja Vu. Sounds like a strip club, but it also did comedy. but he, for whatever reason, he just wanted to help me. And he was like, I'm gonna submit you to Montreal. You're better than some of these new guys that I've seen up here. So just give me a tape. And so like he submitted me, and I got in. And I didn't have an agent. He went up there and pretended to be like an agent or whatever. And that was 2000. And then I moved out here after that, thinking I will couch surf for a while and see what happens. And once I got out here, I got a college agent. Now, the college agent is what got me to headliner status, because when they hire you to do these college gigs, NACA, the National Association for Campus Activities, these are just college kids that are hiring you. They don't know what they're doing either. Mm-hmm. They just, if you can make them laugh for 15 minutes, they go like, well, he's probably can do that for an hour. They don't know. Right. So I said, of course I have an hour. I didn't have an hour. I had maybe 35. But I figured, well, by the time I get there, I'll figure out something. Yeah. And that forced me it put my feet to the fire. It forced me to be better at crowd work, to learn how to do that, to stall, and then stretch my feet out during my bits and not be so rushed. And so over time, that 35 just grew, and another thing would happen, and I would tack it on, and I'd feel comfortable. I felt like if I get them up front in the first 10 minutes, which I know I can do because I've been doing it for a while, then I can stretch out in the middle, and I got a good closer. Who cares if it's even 45 minutes? The minimum was 45 minutes, but you could do 40, 35. They wouldn't even know. They're not even looking at the clock, and they're not comedy club owners or bookers, and they're not going to go out and tell anybody anything. So you could really make decent money as a no name and still learn and grow.
And did you book a lot of colleges?
Yeah, I did. When I first got started, I got this college agent named Joey Edmonds, and he was like the biggest one. He was out here in Burbank. You know Retta from Parks and Rec?
Yeah, of course.
She basically got me Joey Edmonds because we started comedy around the same time at Good Nights in Raleigh. Mm-hmm. And she goes, "You need to be doing colleges." I'm like, "How do you do that?" She said, "Give me the tape too." So I got this guy, and you go and for those of you who don't know how this works, you go to a conference. And it's different regions of the country. And, for example, Wisconsin was its own region, which is weird because, there's 50 states. But Wisconsin, for whatever reason, there are tons of these colleges that participated in this campus activities thing. So Wisconsin, you go there, you do a show for a room full of kids from different colleges from all over that state. It's a ballroom.
That's it. Yeah.
And it's not just me. There's other acts in there. It's jugglers. It's music. It's comedy. It's anything. And you do 15, 20 minutes. And then when you're done, they have like a big booth situation where you hang out in the booth and these kids walk around and, you got your prices and your availabilities. And they go, "Oh, yeah, we liked you. Yeah, let's get him." And before you know it, and those gigs, I went from making $50 a show to making anywhere from $700 to $2,000 a show, depending on the college. And when you do a region, they try to lump you together, so it's a nice little tour. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so right away, I got probably like 25 gigs.
Yeah.
At that much. I was like, this is amazing. Like, yeah. I'm done.
You made a living.
And I went, and I was in debt prior to this. I was living off my credit cards, in debt, filed for bankruptcy. So I did that whole thing where, you call up a service and they go, "Don't answer the phone."
Yeah.
And ruined my credit for a while. But that's what's great about this country.
Yeah.
So I did that. I almost got a real job at a place.
Wow.
I was so close. In fact, I went in for training, but they didn't hire me. It was a public storage call center.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I was this close, and then Joey goes like, "I got you. These gigs came back, and I blocked you for this whole month in Wisconsin." I go, "Thank God."
Yeah.
And I just never went back. And I never had an idea of getting a real job.
So you walked basically. Before you were ready, you walked in that direction.
I did. Yeah, I faked it till I made it.
Yeah.
But I knew I could do it.
But you were still doing the work.
Yeah.
You didn't fake it and then wait. You go, "Well, I'm going to fake it, but I'm going to keep working. So if I do get it, boom."
Yeah, and I would take any gig I could as a feature act. I had a gig. I mean, there was no routing. It wasn't up to me. It was like whatever happened.
Yeah.
I had a gig in somewhere like in Bemidji, Minnesota, or Fargo, North Dakota. And then the next night, I had to be on stage in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And I couldn't afford a flight. I knew I was driving. And I looked at the map before GPS. I opened up a map. I'm like, I think I might be able to pull this off. And so I was done with my set in, let's just say, North Dakota. Thank you, good night. I said, hey, can I get paid before the show? Because I'm really going to finish my set and walk off the stage and get in my car and start driving. And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. So thank you, good night. I walk out the door. I literally get in my car and drive. It's ready to go. I go all the way to South Carolina, and I pull in with about an hour to spare. No time to go to the hotel.
No.
I went straight to the venue, driving all night. My face was white. My eyes were red. Another comedian looked at me, and he had known me before. I used to dance a lot. I used to be known as the Hickory Dance Machine. I used to come out dancing. Yeah. I swear to God, Josh. I used to come out making fun of dancing by dancing.
I've done that. I used to come out dancing.
It's fun.
I used to come out high energy, dancing.
Come on, everybody.
I mean,
I can see you. Well, if you got the cheerleader blood in you, that's the thing.
It was so bad. And now
I should show you old videos of me doing the dance stuff.
Okay, that you need to put up.
Okay, I might do that.
Or you open have you released your spot? Oh, you released it?
It's out right now, but there's no dancing on it.
I would put that in the very beginning.
You know what?
It's hilarious to show them.
Yeah. I want to show you. I bet. Okay.
Just your fans would love to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, they would be like, are you kidding me?
Well, it started off as an accident. Like when I first was featuring at Good Nights, they liked high energy, anybody to get the show pumped. It's, so I come out to music, and I wanted to just start to just go along with the music, and people started clapping, and I was like, okay. And then I just started doing like a shovel dance, to that song, Can You Dig It? We Can Dig It. Can y'all dig it? Yeah. I was doing it to that song. And then I started thinking, well, that's one dance. What other tools can I do? And then I did a rake, and then I did a mop. And then it got really advanced. My favorite one, I made up like 6 of these things. My favorite one was called Any Guy in the 1900s Washing Women's Laundry Dance. It's very specific. Yes, the washboard.
The washboard.
Yes. And then he wrings it out a little bit. And he kind of dries it off, and then he puts it on the clothesline, grabs another one, sniffs it.
Oh, Jesus.
That's any guy. And then he puts it on and starts dancing around. And then he gets caught and he says, get out. So it's a very specific dance. But they had levels. There were little punchlines in there. But I came out to high energy. It was all an accident. But that is something I should put up there.
But for people that see you now.
Yeah, I'd be like, what the hell was he doing?
Yeah. I mean, you could even record, hey, guys, the story you just told me, or take this podcast and then, interstitial. But it sounds like you walked in the direction. Like you go, I don't know, my dad, I knew he liked that, and I wanted him to like what I was doing, so I just went to the TV station. Like you just kept going towards that.
Yeah,
I did.
You
go, I just moved down here, I'll stay on the couch. Like I'm just going to do it.
You're right. And the whole reason I was a communication major to begin with, I mean, I kind of thought like if I'm doing stuff, if I'm learning stuff behind the camera, like how to run the camera, how to run the lights and the sound, and I'm also doing theater. I was a theater major, learning how to act and be in front of the camera. Well, one of these two is going to have to work out. And when I quit my job at the TV station to do this full time, my boss was like, they all knew I was doing stand up at night, and they're like, okay, well, if it doesn't work out, you can crawl back in here on your hands and knees, and I might give you your job back. He was totally joking, but I think he kind of knew, like, run, young one.
Yeah.
Go chase the dream.
Yeah.
But that was my fault. Once I got into college at NC State, I was taking theater, and then I realized I can actually make people laugh, on purpose. I can structure this, and I don't have to be a goofball and just, I don't have to dance around in my head. I can actually write jokes and tell stories and be entertaining. And even with other people's words, doing monologues from, like in like scene studies and stuff. It was this acting class I took at NC State. It was a summer class, so there wasn't like a lot of people in there, but there were a lot of athletes in there, that had to take something easy or whatever, and there were people who just were shy and wanted to get over it, and they thought this would help. But I was easily the best guy in that room, and I'm like,
wow, and I'm not even trying that hard. I'm like, this is going to be great. But I still, even then, I didn't think this would be a career. I was just, I don't know, I was just hoping for the best, I guess.
Did it like I remember, and this could be wrong, Sebastian Maniscalco.
Yes.
But when he did the Vince Vaughn comedy tour, I could be totally wrong. I think there was a moment kind of backstage where he was crying a little bit. He's like,
Yes.
"Oh, you heard this?"
Well, go ahead. I know that I've seen this. I know exactly what you're talking
somewhere
about.
where he cried. He's like, "Oh my God, I'm actually doing this. Like,
Yeah.
this is."
He had just had a killer set.
Right.
And he was in the green room, and Vince Vaughn, and everyone's looking at Sebastian like, we've never seen you kill that hard before.
Uh-huh.
And they happened to capture it on camera. And everyone's like clapping for Sebastian in the green room, and Vince is, you know how Vince can look at you and go like, "Hey, buddy, hey," ooh, you know, like really talking him up. And I think it was a moment that just he got overwhelmed and he got a little emotional.
So,
but I remember that. Yeah, it was a big
that
moment to him.
for you. Where was it? Because Last Comic Standing, you did really well.
I ended up winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
But not only that, and I say that not only winning, but there's some people that do competitions. You know, like you. It really took you to the next level.
Right.
You know what I mean? People are like, oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can win a competition, nobody cares about what you do.
If no one sees it, doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. So you do really well. And this is like on America's Got Talent now. Somebody will do well, and you go, well, all right, they're still not getting booked.
Right.
So
Okay, so it's stages, I think. For me, the first thing that I did that was kind of big wasn't even comedy. It was acting. I was in a Dodge truck commercial.
oh my God, I remember that. And in fact, I used to do your line. Would you say Hemi? Would you?
Yay!
I used to do your lines to you.
That thing got a Hemi. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
You about to find out. So that was huge. I mean, that was a gigantic national campaign. It ran for
remember.
I did 6 of them. They ran for like 3-4 years.
I remember.
So, but that wasn't even stand up, you know.
No.
But that was I got lucky on that too, man. I mean, just a commercial audition that I went in for.
And by the way, side note, Tornado. What was the movie?
Into the Storm.
Into the Storm.
Right.
Has anybody else besides me taken pictures from the plane of you and sent it to you?
Josh, I freaking love you, man. No.
I was so excited.
No one's done that.
I was telling people like, no, I know him.
It's
like,
so
what?
funny. I've known this guy forever. One of the first guys I met when I came out here in 2001, and we were doing the same rooms alongside Alonzo, Dane Cook, Jade, all these guys, man. You know, back in the Dublin's days and the Laugh Factory. But, you know, for whatever reason, we've just sort of stayed in touch randomly here and there. Like, and I'll forget about you for a minute, and then I'll get a text out of nowhere. And it's just you know, doing something crazy with like the one on the plane or
I was so excited.
random stuff. But
I was telling
but it
everybody
makes me so happy when that stuff happens.
Oh, good.
I go like, God, I love this guy.
So you got the Hemi. Right?
So that was the first thing.
And I forgot, and when you said it, I go Hemi.
Yeah, it's fun to say. But that was the first big one. So that's one level. I'm like, woo, I'm getting recognized everywhere I go, and they don't even know I do stand up.
And did that make you work harder?
Yeah.
Or-
It
you get a lot of money for that.
It made me want to prove that I could also do well as a stand-up. I did sort of take my foot off the gas a little bit during that, because I'm like, well, maybe if I just keep it on with the acting side, you know, just keep doing other auditions, you know, do this and this, and then stop touring as much. If I just stayed in town and focused on that, then who knows what this could be. So I was trying to play both sides of that.
Which you can, I mean, you know,
I just
multifaceted.
Yeah, I mean, so
And you were passed at the store then. You already passed all the places.
Yeah.
So you were working in town.
So they already knew. I mean, people like you in this town already knew me.
Yeah.
But America, they only knew me as a redneck in a Dodge commercial. So then it's like, well, how do I get to headline at comedy clubs all over the country? I'm like, I'm going to use that. So I told my agent, I said, you know, why don't we just bill me John Reap, the Hemi guy? You know, because the character didn't have a name, but everyone knew that commercial.
Right.
The Hemi. And so they put that on the, you know, on the marquee and stuff, and we built it that way. And I took photos of me kind of as the character too, you know, and people would show up in curiosity, be like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a funny commercial. Let's go see what this
yeah,
guy's
nothing
about.
wrong with that. That's great.
And then they come
people
in there,
showed up.
and then they would see, holy crap.
Oh, he's a real comic.
This dude's, yeah. Wow. I didn't know he didn't even talk about Hemis.
And you know what's amazing? The more people that I do the podcast, I realize that, and something I haven't had until even recently more, is self-awareness. You had the self-awareness to step back and go, oh, Hemi guy, make that part of the billboard, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
To step back and look at, all the facets. What can I do to headline?
Yeah.
Which is, some people might just go through that, or some people might shy away. I don't want them to know me as that.
Yeah.
You lean into it. Go, fuck it. Let them bring to the table. I'll give them good food,
I did lean into it. And sometimes I wonder if that was the best, because in a weird way, I was worried about, this was dumb, but I was worried back then about being typecast. Like, okay, well, if this is all I do, and then I'm actually going out doing stand-up, and I'm still that guy, and I'm not, and in interviews... and at public appearances, I was like, yeah, I love him. I love Dodge. I was just like all about it, like playing a character, so to speak. So I kind of got worried, like, oh man, people are going to think that's all I'm going to be, and that's not good,
Well, the great thing is, and especially now today, is you can put out other material on your own.
Oh, that's right.
That shows.
Yeah.
Back then, you are like they told Brad Pitt, you can't do watch commercials. You're an actor. That's it. You can't host a show. Now it's open. You can do anything you want.
Do anything you want now.
Yeah. But back then, I get what you're saying, because now then that's who you are.
Right. Yeah. And I was nervous about that. And in fact, the guy in the commercial with me, this guy named Todd Gibbenheim, who's a great character actor. He's been in lots of stuff. I remember sitting in this in the middle of this desert in Palmdale. This is the very first commercial, and I'm sitting in this beat-up Duster muscle car in the middle of a desert. It's hot. There's no air conditioner. I'm the fattest I've ever been. I got these huge redneck lamb chop sideburns.
Real or fake?
No, mine. I was
Okay.
I was having fun with my facial hair, and I happened to get this audition during that phase. But I remember sitting next to this guy, going like, so what's it like? He had been in everything. He's like, oh, it's just, technically they're supposed to give us a meal break for an hour. Like, he all knew all the SAG rules and all this stuff. And I was just like young and eager. And he was like, well, you'll make your most money in residuals. And I'm like, and then I started thinking, I don't think this is even going to air. Like, I'm thinking, this can't be a big commercial. I mean, no one's going to know what a Hemi is. I was like, this is not going to work.
What's the line again?
Hang on. That thing got a Hemi. It's 5 words. Ready? I'm going to do it. Hey, that thing got a Hemi. But
I mean, wait, when you said it, I came back. I go, the Hemi.
it's joyous. I don't know. Joyous. I don't know why.
Do you put that in any of your specials?
I've done it before. Yeah. In fact, in Ginger Beard Man, I talk about the experience of that audition. The one that's available now. Like, it just came out yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The very new
I
one.
didn't see it.
No, it's you wouldn't have, because yesterday it came out, and we just met yesterday.
Yeah.
Since I've been out here, but yeah, it's I talk about it like how I go to the audition. My agent, called me up. He said, got an audition. You know how they just call you up, you get an email now, but and he said this. He goes, I have an audition for you today. It's for Dodge. You'll be playing white trash. Like, he just said it like it was like matter of fact. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I guess you can say that or whatever. And so I used to work at a Goodyear, and I put my old, these auditions, you dress for the part.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
Lets them see what you would look like.
Yeah. So I dressed like a mechanic, sort of rednecky guy, and I go down there, and I picked up the script. And the 5 words, it just said, that thing got a Hemi. That's all this dude said. But it shows you the layout, the, what do you call it? The blocking. So anyway, the scenario. So I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, well, if this dude is going to be in a muscle car, and he's yelling at the other guy in the Dodge, does that thing have a Hemi? I mean, he's going to have to do something to get his attention, because it's going to be loud. The engines are going to be loud. So I added the word "hey." Hey, that thing got a Hemi. So that's actually, I turned it 5 to 6. But I think what really got me the part, and you've been out here, you've had lots of success as an actor. I mean, good Lord, y'all should look up his IMDb page sometimes. It's like you have to scroll but you don't have to scroll on mine. At least yours is scroll worthy. But so I know you've taken acting classes, you've done all that stuff. They always I did a commercial intensive class as well when I first got out here, and they said, well, honestly, these commercials, anybody can do these. They just want someone who can bring some extra stuff to it, possibly, can memorize the lines and be fun to be around for a weekend. Just don't be a douche or whatever, but see if you can add to. So I thought, okay, when I went in the audition, the guy's just in the truck. My character's in a beat-up Duster. He yells, hey, that thing got a Hemi. But in the audition, it's just you, camera crew, and an aluminum chair.
Yeah.
So I just walk in. I sat down on this aluminum chair, and I figured, well, if I'm in a muscle car, I'm going to stick my elbow out the window because, the air conditioning's shot, and I'm going to be sitting like this. So I literally went in there, and I sat down. I just sort of did one, how you doing? I sat down and just did like this and started vibrating. Because I'm thinking it's a muscle car, so I'll vibrate a little bit. So I'm sitting there, I'm just doing like this. I go, hey, that thing got a hit. And they just started laughing at that because no one had, I guess, done that.
Did that come from your commercial acting classes and theater degree?
Yeah, mostly the intensive I did out here.
But think about that.
But it was, bringing a little extra, a little something extra.
But the trajectory of your career, 5 words, changed that. But once again, you walked in the direction. You just go, I'm just taking an intensive class.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just going to do that.
Right.
There was no one telling, go do it. You just went and did these things.
I think a lot of it is putting yourself in the right positions to succeed. Now, you can sit back and daydream all day about stuff, but if you don't actually go out and at least hang around someone who's already doing it, you'll just learn stuff just by being in those circles.
Well, even one step further, you said put yourself in the right position to succeed. It sounds like to me, you didn't even know what those right positions were. They ended up being good choices, but you just went out and did. I mean, you could have done it commercial intensive and never booked a commercial.
Right. Yeah.
But you put yourself in positions to succeed.
Yeah.
I.e., I'm just going to go work at that TV station.
Yeah. Right.
I'm just going to go submit. I'm going to reach out to my friend and how do I do college or whatever.
Right.
So you're putting yourself in positions more than one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But all the while, you're still doing the work.
Right. That's exactly right. And, who knows if it will pan out. Honestly, this whole time, I would be super fine with just never having to get a real job again. If I can sustain myself doing this, then it's a victory. And it's been a victory even before Last Comic Standing, even before, the Hemi commercials. So that's how I've been looking at it. But yeah, putting yourself in those circles too. Like step one was walking into a comedy club and I'd never even seen a comedy club when I was in college. Hickory, my hometown, we didn't have a comedy club. I just thought there were things that existed in New York and L.A. and on television and in movies. I didn't know there was one in every country. I didn't know that this was something that colleges would do from time to time, So when I found out there was a comedy club next to the campus, my whole world was like, oh, man. So my whole life, people have been telling me I got class clown in high school. My dad got
Me
it.
too.
My brother got it.
Oh.
Random.
That's not, no. It's the opposite.
Yeah, right.
It's not random.
Right.
It's brum, brum, brum,
Yeah.
brum. It's,
Yeah. Well, he's the mastermind. And then I was just trying to copy him.
Your dad.
Yeah. But then Jason, my little brother, he's not like either one of us, but he got it too because he's clever. See, I'm the goofball. Like if you're at a party and I was drunk and I got on the table and pulled my pants down and started, doing a stupid dance, my brother would walk up with a lampshade and go, put this on your head. I go, oh, yeah, good one, Jason. So he would add two things.
And by the way, I think that's why I'm still single because no girl goes, I want to date a goofball. It's never. I have a joke, by the way.
Yeah.
It's, WWCD, what would Crystalia do? And it's just basically, and I go on stage, I go, I just act like a dick. I just act like I don't care. And I sent the joke to Chris for approval to make sure.
Yeah.
He's like, I think it. That's good. He's like, that made me laugh.
Well, that works for some people.
Let me tell you something. Quick story. I've said it on stage once, twice, but my profile on the dating sites.
Yeah.
I had a fun, just like you. I have a nice picture. I like chocolate chip dough, pizza. Oh my God, I love action movies. Like fun.
Yeah.
Like no one hit me up. Then I
Right.
change it
Yeah.
to a picture of me just looking like a dick. Just no smile,
Stone cold,
nothing.
yeah.
Then I didn't even write Netflix and chill because I'm too busy. I just wrote Netflix. That's all that I wrote. Next day, I get hit up by 30 girls.
Wow. What is that?
And then I took it one step further. They'd be like, hey, I like your picture. I'm like, thanks. What are you doing today? Not much. Like answering nothing. And they go, third one is, we should get together. I go, I didn't say anything.
Oh, that's great. What is that? I think it is.
I should do that on stage.
Yeah.
Because it really is, and that's exactly what happened. And that's where what would Chris D'Elia do come from. I looked at his pictures and I go, let me look what he's doing.
That should be a shirt. WWCD.
What would
D?
What would Chris D'Elia do?
Yeah. That I think it's because. All right. Look, I've always been a goofball, happy-go-lucky. I did go through my little gangster phase when I was in community college for 2 years. I was I used to breakdance too as a kid, but I was a huge NWA fan.
Really?
Yeah, believe it or not. I had the Raiders jackets, the Raiders hats. I was hardcore. I was like, bitches ain't nothing but hoes and tricks, you know. It's all about getting mines. I was kind of that guy. I got my heart broken early.
By the way, I just want to, I'm just going to do a little word association right now.
Please.
Jam on it.
Jam on it. I said jam on it. Jam on the ground and upside down. Keep it rocking to the rhythm of the funky sound. Jam on it. Jam on it. I said jam on my mama, jam on it. Hell yeah. That's great. What a good moment that was. I didn't see that coming. That's one of the best rap, breakdancing songs. Shut up. That's Rocket. That's Rocket.
Rocket.
To that song, I came in third place at a breakdancing competition.
And then, what's it called?
UTFO?
Public Enemy.
Oh, Public Enemy.
Fear of a Black Planet.
Oh, what?
Attack the black because they know they lack the cold facts, but still they try to Xerox the leader of the new school. Uncool, never played the game but knew the rules. Don't believe the hype. It's a sequel.
Yeah.
As an equal, can I get this through? My 98 booming with the trunk of funk. All the jealous punks can't stop. They don't.
Was that where we go? Death row, how low can you go? What a brother know. The Public Enemy #1.
It was my favorite. Okay,
Yeah.
so we both had that phase.
Yes.
And by the way, I
was just being hard as hell.
white, Jewish, had a bar mitzvah, and I was hard in my own mind.
Right.
So go on.
Well, I was that redneck, redheaded hillbilly version of that in the South. But I had a buddy who was like a hardcore, kind of gangstery type dude, and I thought like, yeah, I want to be like Kent. And I love Kent. We just started dressing like that, putting this stuff on, and anyway, so there was I had just got my heart broken out of high school, and I thought like, well, that's it. No more Mr. Nice Guy. See what happens when you're nice, John?
Yeah.
You get your heart broken. So screw that. From now on, it's like I'm getting what I want and I'm moving on.
You'll get
Bye.
no fuck, right?
And so I did that for a while, and then I was like, well, that don't feel good.
It's too tiring.
It doesn't feel good.
It's not authentic.
No, it's not me.
Exactly.
It's not
so
me.
I can do it, but and then I'll let out a little goofiness, and they're like, "Huh?" Because I'm just being myself.
Yeah, because you're having to wear,
I'm
fake
acting.
it for so
Yeah.
and that's exhausting. It's like, when am I going to take the mask off and just chill? I want to show you my gut.
I would rather be alone and myself than with someone and lonely.
Yeah, 100%. Write that down.
I think I stole part of that from
Can you
someone.
look right into the camera and say that again, Josh?
I'd rather be
that's
alone. Wait,
No.
God damn,
Wait,
hold on.
you had it.
I would rather be alone with myself than with someone and
And miserable.
lonely.
And lonely. Oh, you put lonely in there twice.
Yeah, I would
I
rather
see
be
what you
alone
did.
with myself
Oh, that's good.
than with someone and lonely.
And lonely.
Thank you. And what's weird is I'm with you right now and I feel lonely. Wait, okay. I want to change this a little bit because this to
Sure.
me, so I don't know how people get ready for comedy competitions.
Got it.
And to win that, and not only win it, but do good where people are like, that guy's good
Yeah.
and deserves it.
Right.
So how did that happen for you? How did you prepare
You
for
want
that?
for last comic standing.
Yes. How did you prepare and then win and then
Okay.
do good at it?
It's levels. All right. So first level is you have to go to Melrose Improv and do a 10 to 15 minute set in front of the judges, and then from there, you may or may not make it to the next round. So I go, all right, well, I know what's going to happen. This is a reality show at the end of the day. They're going to need their specific niches, you know.
Again, being nothing to interrupt you, self-aware.
Yeah.
You step back and you go, ooh,
Yeah.
it's not about me. What are they looking for?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, no, you
I didn't think of it that way, but yeah.
you were self-aware.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, go ahead.
So I go, well, I'm going to be the redneck. I know that. No matter what I try to do, I'm going to be the redneck. If they're going to need one, it might as well be me. Mm-hmm. And so I went down there in the plaid. I did my hickory stuff. And the judges, you know, I got to the next round. So when you get to the last, I guess the top 5 of Last Comic Standing. Okay. I feel like I'm all over the map. So that's first round, the improv. Way to go, next round. Then you don't do anything for a minute because they go to other cities and you're just waiting to find out, did I advance? Then you go, yes, now you're going to be a part of the show. Now you're on the show. So that little first part, I did 10 minutes. They're going to air 30 seconds of it. So I can do maybe that joke again because... Right, some of the same material
Got it.
from that first set,
Again,
I didn't burn it.
Again, self-aware, blah, blah, blah.
It wasn't burnt, and it's good. And I go, okay, I'm going to put that in my back pocket. And then, so then you get on the show, you got to perform. We had these dumb challenges, which I hated. There was a heckle challenge you had to do, you know, where you get on stage and another comedian sits in the crowd and has to heckle you, and you have to deal with it. It's so stupid. I hated that. And then we had to perform at medieval times. So... I was just trying to think of what bits will work in these situations for this situation. So I'm like, okay, heckle challenge. Jerry D is going to have to heckle me. So what can I do? What bit will I do here? Oh, I'll do my loudest bit. Because if he's going to be heckling me, he's going to have to scream over me in this microphone plus this loud bit I'm doing.
And again, not to be redundant.
Self-aware.
And might not even know you're being self-aware.
Right.
But it's the difference between somebody going in and being so in their head,
Yeah.
I'm just going to do this is funny, and you going, no.
But I didn't lay out the whole season.
No, I got
did
it.
it one by one.
Yeah. Okay,
I
go ahead.
Well, okay, this is what I got to do to survive right now. Forget everything else. Because if I don't make it past here, nothing else will happen. So I have to advance now. So that's that. Then you get to medieval times, it's like, okay, I'm going to be dressed up like a court gesture. What bits do I got a bit about the fair. I could talk about, like, you know, carnivals, fair. I could make this work. And I just did my bit about a fair. And I changed one word from sausage to blood sausage, like it was, you know, something from the medieval times. And it worked. And I won that one.
How did you deal with, and we all have those voices in our head, looking at the other person, what are they doing? Are they better than me? Any of those things come up in your brain? It's a competition at the end of the day.
It is a competition.
And you might not have had that.
Not really. I mean, I was really, because I'm not really competing against, I mean, I am competing against them, but it's not like I'm going to sabotage their set. I just have to do the best I can. I can't control them.
So you focused on you.
Yeah. I'm like,
good.
But and I'm going to be likable, you know, like off the stage. You know, it's just when you're just sitting around in rooms hanging out with people. I didn't want America at home watching it thinking, well, that guy's a douchebag. I would never vote for him because, number one, you know, like I said, they got to vote for you. And if they don't like you, they won't vote for you, no matter how funny you are. You could be the funniest guy in the world, but if you say, you know, and they don't like you, they're like, well, I'm not voting for that guy. So I tried to be likable. I tried not to stir, you know, a pot or ruffle any feathers and just survive and just do the best I could at the challenges and the stand-up. And then so my season 2, they had to do a thing where you had to, these testimonials, you had to look right in the camera and you go, I know I'm funnier than, and pick another comic's name, which sucked, right?
Yeah.
You had to do it.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because it's like saying rock is better than hip hop. Well, some people like this person, some people like that. You know.
You're, they were just trying to do something, right? So I dreaded doing that. But also, there was this comedian named Dante. You know Dante?
Yeah.
Okay. So Dante was on my season. And me and Dante were just talking one time. And I think accidentally I scared other comics from not saying that I know I'm funnier than John Reap because of this situation. I'm talking to Dante. And I'm like, hey, Dante, what do you think of this? And it's crazy. We're on Last Comic Standing. What's going to happen? Blah, blah, blah. I said, I don't know, man. I just know that I think I'll be okay if once we get to the part where America gets to vote. Because I feel like if I make it that far, then I got a better chance. Because I really feel that everyone from the South will vote. And I'm already selling out theaters all over the South. I mean, the Hemi guys everywhere. I've already done those commercials. So I feel sorry for the person who has to say, I'm funnier than John Reap, because those people won't like you and they won't vote for you. I just said it to him. Thinking out loud, just having a conversation. I think he went and told everybody, like, oh, I wouldn't vote for John. That dude's like, he's big in the South. And those people will vote. Look at our presidents. They're all it's like, so I wouldn't do that. So I kind of coasted. Like, no one ever said, I'm funnier than John Reap. They picked other comics, you know. I think maybe it happened once out of necessity. But I didn't have to actually perform stand-up again until I got to the top 5. So once I got to the top 5, I was loaded with material. I hadn't burned any of it yet.
By the way, all of that came from you driving all the way through the night, Myrtle Beach.
Right, North Dakota to Myrtle Beach.
Making those commitments, going to the audition, wearing the plaid.
Yeah.
So you could say all those things on that show, which then made people not vote. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that all of that comes together.
I mean, it wasn't like I was plotting that.
No. But that you would never want to talk about the Hemi commercial.
Right.
Unless you had worked at that TV station.
Right.
Unless you had
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, each little stepping stone led to another thing.
And had you not done all the work before, where people in the South actually would have, you've been selling out.
Yeah.
Then you wouldn't have been able to say that.
Right. That's true. Oh, yeah.
Makes sense?
So I wasn't lying.
No, you were saying factual things,
Yeah.
but which ended up leading to you winning something.
Right. That's true.
And you weren't even that funny. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I do love, you guys have to follow Josh on Facebook and everything, because I love these random fake feuds you have with other comedians.
Gary Cannon.
Who else?
And Gene Pompa.
Go ahead, say what you
Joe
want.
Schmidt from the Improv. Eddie from the anybody. I just shit on people. I think it's hilarious. And my favorite thing to do is like, so John, you'll post something like, hey, you know, I'm going through a rough time right now, traveling. I'm really tired on the road. And then I just put my headshot. I don't know why. I think that's hilarious. Or I'll put my bio. I'll put my full bio.
I'm telling you, I laugh out loud every time I see that.
It's hilarious.
What was it? We were talking last night about that kid. What's a good-looking kid that...
Matt Rife.
Matt Rife, all right? He's going to be huge and famous. Don't worry, Matt.
Guy literally is the best-looking guy. 7'4", looking shredded and funny.
He shouldn't be doing stand-up.
But he's fucking good.
Oh, but I'm just... he's funny.
I will stab you, Matt Rife. That's how good-looking you are.
Yes. So, of course...
And he douches on himself.
We have to... Yeah, which, again...
Fucking hate him.
A triple whammy.
Fuck you, Matt Rife.
He's humble, good-looking, and actually funny.
Yeah. And does the work.
And does the work.
He does the fucking work.
Yeah.
But go on.
We were doing the gigs together in Chattanooga, Tennessee, he had to drive me to the airport in the owner's 78 truck. This poor kid. I'm like, dude, well, no one can say you didn't pay your dues, man.
Yeah.
So, I forgot what he posted something on Facebook about like, hey guys, like he was like, I couldn't tell if he was joking. It's like a serious thing. Like, I need, anybody know anyone who lives in this place? I need this, and this. Or any bookers in this town or whatever. And I just see in the comments, simply your headshot.
That's it.
And it's just...
I just put it right there.
And it's just this nice little smile. And I'm like, I'm doing that. And then I put my headshot up there.
It's amazing.
And then he's like, what is going on?
It's amazing. Well, usually I'll text the person, look at Facebook, especially with Gary Cannon. So I did a fundraiser for Gary Cannon to quit comedy. And he's a good comic. He just got past The Cellar. He does warm up for Conan. And he's a good comic. He handles himself very well. So I started a fundraiser on GoFundMe, and the goal was to raise $17 for him to quit comedy. And I think I ended up raising either 5 or 10. We didn't get to our goal.
Oh, no.
And I tagged him. And now Gary's mom is involved in it.
That's funny.
Because she thought I was shitting on her son. So she said, what's going on? And then Gary let her know what's going on. So now I tag her. And I don't know what we have to do with Gary. And she's like, I don't know either. So
I love it. Like, not everyone's in on it.
No, that's the thing. People have come up to me and go, wait, do you really not like Gary and Gene? I go, no, of course I do. They're my friends. How do you not know?
I want to get in a fake feud like that. That's
You
good.
start it. Just start it.
Just go.
Just part it. Be like, I saw this guy, And one of my favorite things was like, I'm really annoyed. I saw John Reap, doing my material. Now, granted, I saw him do it, and I started doing it. So you let everybody know. But you know what?
It
He's
was
a
his
hack.
first.
I saw it on his special. He's a hack. And then you go, what? And then you start. It's just you have to let the person know.
Yeah.
Like the guy named Jay Washington. He's a comedian.
Yeah.
He's a comedian. He's not a booker.
Right.
He doesn't like getting hit up by people. So consistently, I post on his Facebook page, "Hey guys, Jay Washington is looking for comedians for tonight. Industry show, $500 for 5 minutes. Looking for new comics who have day jobs. Please contact him immediately, and please do it twice because sometimes he doesn't get the messages."
So good.
And
Details.
Then he gets inundated.
Must have a day job. That's awesome, dude.
500. I mean, all this is not plausible. $500, 5 minutes. Industry must have a day. I mean, and out of nowhere, it's unprovoked.
Man, I gotta say something too about you. You are really good at improv. We should talk about the fake phone call you did to my dad.
Didn't your father threaten me with a gun?
Yes.
What happened exactly?
This was great.
Yeah.
So I'm just bored one day in a hotel room on my computer, Facebooking around, and I see that you went live with, God, who were you with? Dana Moon. So you guys went live, and you said, "Hey, guys, we're making prank phone calls. Any ideas?" or something like that. I said, "Oh, this would be awesome." And I popped up there and said, "You guys call my dad and tell them that you want to, buy." I think we said something like, "Well, what should we? What's the scenario?"
I want to deliver something. And
I said, "No, they just tried to sell their house.
Yeah.
It was on the market."
Okay.
And then I said, "Here's a number. Just go." So I just gave you those 2 bits of information. And then he calls up my dad and goes like, "Oh, hi, Mr. Reap. This is so-and-so from blah, blah, blah Realty. And which one, we're trying to find your address. I think we're in the neighborhood. So, we're just going to go ahead and start with the open house," or something like that. And he's like, "What? The hell you say?" or something like that.
Yeah, we're coming over. We're going to come over right now. We're right on the corner. We're going to come over.
And he said something like, "Well, you'll be met with a gun." or something. Something old school and rednecky, like, "Oh, you meet my 45 at the front door."
Yeah.
And then you had him for a minute, and then I think he had to. I think
he said something. "Do you know my son John
Okay.
Reap?" I think something like. But we got him.
You got him, and then I got nervous because I'm like, "Holy crap! Everyone's going to see how mean my dad can actually be, and I'm afraid of what he's actually going to say."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Please hang up on him! Hang up on him!" And thank God you did. But that was great. I love doing random little moments like that. But you were really good at that.
I love prank call. I mean, where that all comes from is, "Thank you with the jerky boys.
Yeah.
With my shoes and my glasses."
Yeah, so I have them.
He's also known for pulling large pieces of furniture from his ass. From his ass. Oh, the crowd seems to love it.
They seems to love this. Yes.
I mean, the jerky
boys are great. Have you heard of Roy D. Mercer?
No.
I have to expose you to this guy. Unfortunately, he didn't hit as big as the Jerky Boy. Jerky Boys are great at it. This dude captured a moment in time. It's not a professional. This dude is this redneck guy. He's just bored, and he starts prank calling people. And he's got maybe 7 or 8 of them. And in fact, people started pretending to be this guy later on. Radio stations did, because in the South it kind of passed it around. Before the internet, someone gave me a tape. He's like, "You gotta hear this dude."
Yeah.
And I laughed my ass off. Like, he calls up a shoe store. He's like, "Yeah, y'all up at so and so mall. Is this Tom McKeon's? Y'all sell?" He's like, "Yeah, yes, sir. This." "Well, I bought a damn pair of leather shoes, and they got a little damp, and they done gnawed up on me to a ball. And anyway, I want y'all to mail me a new pair." He's like, "Sir, we can't mail you a new pair." Like, "Huh? The hell? I'm gonna come up there and whip your ass. I got both my boys with me. And if I bring my boys, somebody's ass will be whipped." And this guy gets scared, and that's just one of them. And it's like the redneck version of Jerky Boys, but I'm not even doing it justice. I'm going to send you the link, man. We were just talking about this on a camping trip. God almighty.
They're bringing back Crank Yankers.
Yeah, Crank Yankers was great.
I want to start doing prank calls again because I love it. And we're around, like, all day.
Yeah.
I do nothing.
Yeah.
So why not? I have the equipment. I mean, it's here.
Yeah.
And it's just so great. My favorite is telling people that I'm showing up to their house.
Right.
And usually it's that we're redoing a chimney or a driveway, and that we're just going to drop all the materials in the driveway. And they go, "The hell you are!" I go, I go, "It's already paid for.
Yeah.
I'm dropping it either way."
Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with this. That's so funny you mentioned that. I did that to a guy. And I was in. This was right out of high school. My gangster phase in community college, making prank phone calls. One dude, this guy named Mike Hauser. What's up, buddy? It was me. We called up anything that would deliver. Anything. And we ordered it to this dude's house. It started with just pizza, right? And then it's like a roofer. A roofer come out just to look at the roof. Firewood. The best one was the firewood because a huge truck of firewood came to his house. And they went to the backyard. No, first they went to the front door. They said, "Hey, where do you want it?" And my buddy Michael, whose dad, and we didn't know this, actually gets firewood delivered sometimes. Just goes, I guess we're normally just back there. And he dumps it, and he comes back. He's like, "That's $500. He's like, I have to call him. What? He calls his dad. He goes, "I don't know who the hell that is. Tell him to pick it up." And the dude goes like, "Are you serious? Like you're not gonna?" He goes, "Well, I guess you got free wood," and he just left because he wasn't gonna pick it back up. So he got free wood out of the deal. But I love that. I did that. Oh God, I prank called. We used to call up people randomly. I could sound like a certain DJ in the area. His name was Ray Mariner from Kiss 102 FM. And I would call up people. I go, "Hi, this is Ray Mariner. If you could tell me the score of the World Series right now, you could win $1 billion. What's the score?" And this one girl's like, "Oh my God, it's Ray Mariner. Oh God, it's 0 everybody." I go, "That's exactly right. What are you gonna do with all that cash?" Like that. And I had her strung along. I even put her on pause. I'm like, "Hang on, I'm gonna do a commercial. I'm gonna come right back." And I hit mute, and we all just start dying laughing. I said, "I'm gonna get her to introduce the next song."
Jesus.
I said, "Okay, Rachel, we're back, and in 3, 2, 1, I want you to announce the next song. It is by Luther Vandross. Never Want to Be a Fool Again." And so she goes, "Okay, this is Rachel. You're listening to Kiss 102. Next song is by Luther Vandross. I never want to be a fool again."
Do you think God or whoever is laughing with us or is mad at us? Because it brings so much joy that it has to be goodness.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you drop firewood at somebody's house.
Yes.
And they didn't know.
There is a victim involved. Turns out the victim was the guy who didn't get the money for the wood. But yeah.
It's
I don't know. I
amazing.
think that I get karma back in little ways.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't murder a guy, so no one's going to murder me for the karma of that. But I did that, and I'll probably stub my toe.
So I have a show at the Ontario Improv, but I need your advice for something. I have to leave in a little bit.
Yeah.
This has to do with karma.
Okay.
A mailman knocked on my door today. He goes, "Hey, I got a package," and I opened it up, and I'm like, "Well, that's my address, but that's not my name." And I go, "You can leave it here. I'll take it." And he goes, "Well, I delivered it. All right." And he leaves.
Wow.
So I open it up, and it's literally thousands of dollars of girls' makeup that I could sell easily. I mean, it's high. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's at least 3,000 because we looked it up. Me and my buddy Jason Rouse, we looked it up. We looked up the website and the brand, and I'm seeing they're like beautiful. Like you would see them at stores at like Nordstrom's or cases, blushes, brushes.
Yeah.
And
wow.
I'm doing a sale this weekend. My cousin is getting rid of her women's clothing business, so I have literally thousands of dollars of women's yoga pants and all that. So I could do a double sale, but
okay.
I think this is God testing me. Karma. Go ahead.
I have an idea.
Go ahead.
Okay. And it's you trying to get it back to the rightful owner. You're a public figure. You could use your social media as a way to find the original owner while also giving a makeup tutorial. You're like, "Today, we're going to do eyebrows. I don't know where this came from, but it came to my house. I think the person's name's here. It's not their address. It's my address."
Would you do it for me?
I mean,
I want you to.
Can we do it tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow. I want to do the makeup tutorial.
Okay,
And
you
then
put
we'll
makeup
tag-
on me.
Either one, or we'll do it. And we'll end up looking horrible.
Yes.
We'll look horrible. And
Yes.
we'll tag them and be like, we got thousands of dollars of makeup
Like
delivered.
it's a demo, and
we want to give
ruining
it back.
I love it.
God, I love you.
Let's do that.
All right. So
All right, you got to run. I know.
have to run.
Where's your set?
Ontario Improv, and it's an hour and a half from
You
now.
gotta get on the road.
But it's 40 miles in L.A.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like fucking 3 hours.
Exactly.
But it's Corey and Chad. Do you know those guys?
Probably.
Great guys, but I'm late and I don't give a fuck. Corey
No.
and Chad, go fuck
Yeah.
yourselves.
Corey.
Go fuck yourselves. They're twins and they're just trash, and I love them. They're Jewish trash.
Can I get in a fake feud with them in the future?
Dude, they love shitting on Gary Cannon too.
Okay. Well, for Josh, I'm John. This has been...
real quick, find
Go
me
ahead.
at Josh Nasar, JOSHNA, single S-A-R. That's
Oh.
at Josh Nasar across all platforms, Josh Nasar.
There you go. He's on everything. And I'm thinking we're doing a gig together now. I'm bringing you to Syracuse, New York in December. The only thing I need you to do is put the C in your last name. So it's Josh NASCAR. So my redneck fans won't be like, well, who's Nasser? No, NASCAR.
just
His
so
name
you
is Josh
know.
NASCAR.
And Raj Sharma gave me this idea. I have my name on a shirt,
Yeah.
NASAR, and the NASCAR logo.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love it.
Giddy up.
There you go, folks. Look for him, find him, friend him, tell him John Reap sent you. And for those of you listening to me on his podcast, I'm out there too. JohnReap.com, JONREEP.
And you tour full-time all around the country. So they
Pretty
can
much
find you.
nonstop. Yeah. Tour dates are at JohnReap.com. Love you, buddy. Bye, everybody.
Oh my God. I love that guy or girl. You know, like I said at the beginning, I don't know who the guest was or if it was a guest or how they identify. It doesn't matter. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share. And go to my website, johnreap.com, for all your John Reap needs. Tour dates, merchandise, everything. Happy Friday, everybody!